A very beautiful Monday morning to you. If you are just joining us, it's still the Blast Rise on Blast Urban 98.3, your generational radio. You're listening to the Blast Risers this morning. Eslamia and Daniel, and of course, it's time. It is time.
It is time for
to talk
some
money this morning.
Some money, yeah.
With the birthday boy.
Birthday boy, anniversary boy.
Anniversary boy.
Top boy.
We have the one and only Ambassador Dr. Adeyemi.
It's good to be
Creatively
here.
for Business Consult. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. A great weekend for me.
Yeah.
Birthday, wedding anniversary, everything put together. It's good to be here.
It's very obvious on your face. You're shining this
You're
morning.
shining.
Are you
There's
sure?
a different type of glow.
You're
Hey.
shining.
Madam has been taking care of you.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, our wedding anniversary, birthday, everything together. Bam.
That's so.
You're having the best of time. But how many years married now?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
So you've not been doing relationship advice.
You're supposed to advise. Even though some people they'll marry 2
No,
minutes,
no.
they're already advising other people. In
No.
marriage, you have to be this.
Yeah.
You have to be that. You have to be whatever. You know, some people like to do that.
No. I'm not.
So we
I'm
should
not
not
going to do
expect. We
We
should
should
not
not expect
expect
any
marriage advice.
No,
you know.
we should
No-
see
no
couple
book- no book
content
out
now.
yet.
If I'm not even doing couple content.
Maybe a few will come out very soon. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
We're looking forward to
All right,
that.
now we're looking forward to it. Well, we're keeping up with our conversations from last week on the fire or train, and I've seen quite a lot of videos from different CEOs across different businesses globally who have been answering this question of fire or train.
Yeah.
And we want to keep that conversation going this morning,
Okay.
as much as possible on the fire or train at workplace, the decisions that bosses like to make. And we will keep this conversation going this morning with the other things that we were unable to touch. I think we did workplace ethic and productivity last week. We also did communication and professionalism. Now let's talk about workplace culture.
Okay.
Yeah. So, an employee who constantly brings office gossip.
I didn't get that. Take that again.
An employee who constantly brings office gossip.
Okay.
So maybe somebody in the workplace who is always having the gossip of every person in the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, they're just trying to make they're trying to make everywhere very lively. I don't think that's a crime, is it? Is it a crime?
So the employee is constantly.
Yeah, they have gossip about everybody. They are
Everybody.
constantly spreading information about this and that person. They know what this person is going through. They know the boss, is doing this thing with his wife, or he has a side chick or whatever. And they're the ones always spreading like gossip everywhere. Great worker though, but then that gossip is their biggest problem in life.
I think that's a character issue. I'm not going to have that. So because you can't train that.
Yeah.
It's something that you are a gossip. You are a gossip. There's no two way about
There's
it.
no two way
So
about
the
it.
best thing to do is just fire straight. Because again, like I said last week, the problem is that when you encourage or when you have that kind of thing happen over and over again, what happens is that it pollutes the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Every other person around gets polluted by that character, by that, and you start to now have an office where there are side talks.
Yeah.
Every single decision there's a
There's a
discussion.
side talk.
And you don't want to have that.
Ooh. Okay. What would you do if in the office there are like cliques?
Yeah.
Because the gossip
Yeah.
sometimes might also be that there might be cliques within the
There's a
organization.
faction of this person
Yeah.
and a faction
There's
of
a
that
fact-
person.
and then
it
the
sometimes
bosses
even
in the-
affects, sometimes when you have like, when the faction that has like the senior managers or something, and then you have a problem with them, you already know that you're going to be in trouble because you're not a part of
Yes.
their clique.
So how do you manage that? Do you fire or train in this situation when there are now factions within the organization?
Well, I think within every organization or in every facet of life, there are always cliques, and there's hardly anything you can do about cliques,
Okay.
right? But the only thing I'll just say is that some of these things you can manage them,
Okay.
and again, as someone who also has a business, one of the things you can try to do is try to always be also involved in. Okay, yeah, you take notes. Don't keep a blind eye to the fact that there are cliques in your office. Take note of, okay, these are the people that work together. For example, I know the people who are like together in the office.
Yeah.
In my office, I know those who they are friends. I see them sitting together. I see them wanting to be together. I see, like, I know,
Yeah.
I take notes, and I'm just looking at them, right? And sometimes I call one of the either of the party and say, what's happening? I'm seeing you
where's
together.
it?
I hope
Yeah.
there's nothing going, that kind of thing. So at best, what you can do is manage. You can't really do a lot of things about that. You can't fire people because of that. Because again, why did you employ them to do a job, to do certain things that you want them to do? So that they are friends, I don't think should be an issue, right? I mean, I don't think it should be an issue.
Talking about that, because we're like, oh, is something going on? What do you think about dating in a workplace? Like, if your employees are dating each other, is it something that is enough to decide that, oh, this is going to be affecting the productivity of my work, so I don't think I can allow it?
I'm not going to allow that.
You're not
Dating
going to allow
in the
that.
workplace.
I'll fire either of them. So again, in a business, now why some of these things you don't want. There are certain things that if you encourage, it's going to lead to a lot of what do you call it now? It's going to lead to a lot of office or workplace issues. You know, certain things will come up that you might not be able to control.
There might be anyhowness that you might not be able to manage.
That you might not be able to manage, and you don't want that. So, and you find it in almost every space now, every workspace now, that they don't allow you to start dating. You know, you can, and I mean, but there are people, you know how Nigerians can be. There are people who they will just be dating and you don't know about it, right? But again, it should be against any workplace.
So if you don't know about it, it's okay. But if they make it like obvious,
then we need to find out why is this happening. One person has to go. You can't have both of them dating.
So you are for you can't date at workplace. You are for not dating.
Yes.
Well, we spend a lot of time in work. We're not fall in love.
It's okay if you fall in love,
but don't make it obvious.
Exactly. Aside from not making it obvious, don't try to see if you can do something about it outside of work and not during work. Which is usually very, very tough. It's very hard. Yeah. Somebody that you are loving in the office, you want to have time where you guys will talk.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. If you can be professional about it. Is there a way to be professional about love?
I think there can be.
But if you can be mature, I think maturity is the word. Maybe not
experience.
professionalism, but maturity is the word. If you can be mature about it, where you guys don't, when we're in the office, we're in the office.
Yes.
When we're outside the office, we can do our lovey-dovey
What
and all
about
that.
an employee that flirts with like maybe all the girls or like maybe flirts with all the boys? That is always flirts. Like a new girl or new guy comes, this person is like, "What's up? This is how we roll here."
Eventually, you get the fire. That's just it. No, eventually.
So I don't know if it was with you we treated this conversation. I think it was with you we treated this conversation about a business owner who fired an employee. She fired 2 employees in her workplace, a guy and a lady, because she was aware that they had partners outside of the office.
Oh yeah, it was with me.
I remember. Office. And she fired them, and she was like, "If you can do that to your partners, then what can't you do to my business?"
Absolutely.
But
right.
the Nigerian culture where we see where that is sort of like quote and unquote encouraged. We see where married men are, having affairs with, staff or with interns in an office environment. I wanted to ask, in the place of this gossip now, where the boss is the one who encourages it, because we've seen situations where in an organization the boss wants to have his ear everywhere. So he has his people. So you have a meeting here, and then the boss is telling you, "I was told that," and you're like, wait, how did you hear about this thing? How do you manage that kind of situation when it's the boss that encourages that kind of thing? So it means that even staff members cannot comfortably speak freely about issues that they are having, because somebody's always going to go and tell the boss that, "Oh God, they said that your office that they are not treating them well," or let me say for example, they'll say, "Oh God, they said your studio is not fine," and that kind of thing. I'm wondering, how did the boss hear about that kind of thing? So what do you say to a manager or to a boss who is encouraging something like that?
So again, as a boss, I don't think so you see, a lot of people need to learn leadership as bosses, and that's one of the foundational issues that a lot of businesses have. And you see, leadership is not it's something not everybody has it inbuilt, but everybody can learn it. Everybody can be trained as a leader. And sometimes if you understand, and again, another part is emotional intelligence. A lot of bosses don't have emotional intelligence. You're not, and that clouds their judgment. It clouds how they see things. You know that as a leader, even in your home as a man, you cannot make it obvious that you have a favorite child. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing in the workplace. You cannot make it obvious that this staff is my favorite. You can't make it up, because when the moment you do that, it's almost like there's already an entry into you. It's almost like there's a place where they can come into you and they can use that as an entrance to get anything they want, to have their way, to find out information, like a lot of other things. And that's even where, when we talk about staff theft, that's where it starts. Because it's the ones that you have trusted the most that they will now end up stealing from you.
Oh my God.
So it's just the emotional intelligence that we all need to build, and not in business. Yeah, I like when I think I saw a video, a podcast that Olushola did with this investor guy. I can't remember his name now. And the guy was saying that he doesn't like when people say that when people do something wrong, like they are flawed like in character, and then they now say it's business. No, you can't just say it's business. No,
all is fair in
do you understand?
business, kind of thing, no.
You can't be brutal and say it's business now.
That's
No,
It's fair in love and
do you understand? So
yeah.
character is also a very integral part of business because people buy from people. So
People
if you are not a good person,
Yes.
you cannot just fling it and say no, this is business. Let's leave relationship out of
Yeah,
it. No,
yeah.
you can't put out relationship out of business.
Yes, which is
So-
why I always talk about Queen Cinema all the time, because those boys, they are ruthless. They are ruthless.
Which guys are that?
Those boys that have shows at Queen
yeah.
Cinema.
Okay.
Those, I don't know
Like
whether
when you
they
want to buy
I don't know if they are
stuff.
sales boys or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the way they
They
quadruple
will
the
inflate prices of stuff that
and
you
they're
want to
like,
buy.
oh, it's business now. You
And
should
you find
bargain
it later somewhere, and then you realize that you've been scammed.
I'm
Wow.
like, why? Why do you think you have to
But in the
quadruple
case
the
of
price?
a boss that is the boss that is doing the dating of the boss,
That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
it's a character
The
issue.
character flaw.
You cannot, and there's nothing you can do. You by yourself, you will spoil the business, and that's why there's certain things that you must have built before you venture into business, before you venture into employing people.
Oh.
Right now in my office, we have more ladies than guys.
Okay.
We have about maybe 4 or 5 guys,
Okay.
and we have like on top of my head like 6 ladies.
Okay.
Right? And they know. I make it obvious very well. Right? I'm a married man. I'm Prince. You cannot. There are certain things I don't allow you to wear in my office. We have strict uniform rules. I didn't have it before, but I looked at it and said, Emiko Lemakoba, when you are coming to this office,
Oh, wow.
and there are certain people that are like that. There are certain people that they don't mind, they don't have anything, they don't see anything wrong
Yeah.
in
They don't have
dressing
any.
in the type of
They
way.
don't have any intentions.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I know that I cannot let it continue. I cannot because I know the kind of person I probably could be. And so because of that,
I like
and because of what I'm
a
trying
man
to
that
avoid,
takes accountability,
I say no. You don't wear skimpy clothes to the office. This is the dress code for Monday. Get on. I told one. I said I will take you to the boutique and buy clothes that are long for you. What's wrong with you? Can't you like? Why do you? And that's because I understand people are different
New
with their
generation,
preference.
yeah.
And do you understand? Especially when you're employing Gen Zs now, they're like. They feel free,
Yeah.
and they feel like it's me, it's how I feel, it's how I want to look like. Do you understand? But I have to put in strict rules.
Yeah.
That's because I'm a man.
And you're
So-
also like looking out for the other boys in the office.
Exactly. I'm
too.
also looking out for the other guys in the office as well. So a lot of us need to put this thing, do this work on yourself first.
Yeah.
So that you will not just be looking at all your stuff and every time you are seeing something you can chop. Do you understand? It's a very wrong thing.
you should learn
It's a
how
very
to
wrong thing.
also goju. Learn
Okay.
how to
We
goju.
got a message from SB
SB,
from
okay.
Odono.
Yeah.
It says, this is complicated and sad. There's a girl I am eyeing at the company I work for. I delivered the job for her boss, tipped her, and she refused, saying it's inappropriate. Took me some convincing, like it's for you and nothing to do with the job. Now seeing how loyal and focused she is, and out of respect for that, knowing maybe not to make it look like I am getting favorable deals cause of it. But what now if I say, okay, when she's done with the firm or whatever, you know how ladies think, okay?
You're trying to read that and the way you're reading it.
You know how ladies think now.
Okay.
It would be like if you did not make a move then, you cannot now. And men consider this a lot because we are calculative. What is your say on that? he's saying that he works for a company, delivers, so there's a lady's eyes like, oh my, you're there, wow. And he tips her. She's like, no, I don't do that. And he has to convince her that it's for yourself. And it feels like if she's done doing whatever she's doing for the firm, can he make a move on her? So that, but the girl is not thinking that the girl might think that maybe he doesn't really like her because he didn't make the move when he was working for the company. So why would he be after he's done working for the company that he'll make the move?
Of course, there's a reason why he didn't make the move when he was working with the company. Maybe because of respect for the company, or maybe there's a strict rule to dating in the company. So the girl should understand that, hey, that's the reason why this guy did not make the move. But
she don't understand.
But again, there are people that you don't make move to.
Yeah.
But they sort of know that this guy kind of like me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. You don't like make the move, but the lady knows that it seems like this guy has something. And then if the guy comes after to say that, to make his intentions known, it looks like, oh, I
but
think
if you
I
are
guess right.
just like he's saying now,
if
you are working for like a company, not like as a staff, but like as a contractor, for example, and there's somebody in the company that you like, is like, I mean, the terms are different now. Since you don't like stay in the office, you just come in, do whatever it is that you have to do and go, and then you see somebody that you like, that can affect.
No. I don't think that should be. I don't think that should not be an issue. Okay. I don't think that should be an issue. You should be able to.
So you can make your move.
Shoot your shots.
Wish you best of luck.
If you're just joining the conversation, this is the Blast Rise, and it's Business Monday with Adeyemi this morning. We're talking to fire or to train an employee and the roles that manager play in workplaces. Someone who doesn't come in. Okay, I think we
already talked about collaborating. We already talked about causing tension. Gossip.
This one is this is number 15.
What about a staff member that undermines the manager?
That undermines their manager.
The manager, or not the owner of the business.
Maybe the manager is like the first point of contact.
Okay.
Before like they even meet the owner
that kind of thing where
some
bosses have created a loophole in the system where the staff can directly go to the CEO and skip the manager. So that is you undermining the manager.
And going to like the CEO and say, oh, I don't like this thing that you have done, and just go straight to the CEO. And the manager is just there like, oh, but I was the one that made that move.
Like the manager makes a decision to a staff, and then the staff overturns it because they have access to the CEO. Do you train or fire?
So I think first, I think that's first a problem of. I don't think that's a problem
of the staff.
I think maybe it's a structural problem of the business themselves.
The business itself. Okay.
I think first of all, the business needs to find a fix around that, and that's enforcing the because again a lot of organizations have organograms where they have like cadres and but they just have that thing like hung in their office. They don't follow it. So again, I think you should be able to strictly follow that structure in the business. Don't, and that's I do this as well. For example, there's one of my guys that one of our graphic designers that came directly to me and says, oh, I need to speak to you about a salary raise, right? And I said, okay, but I know that ideally should not speak to me, because there's a head of his department. So I say, okay, so instead of me encouraging it and say, okay, talk to me about it, what's it about, and I just said, okay, have you spoken to your departmental head about this? And he goes, no. I said, go back to her, and then she will come to me.
Let that be the one to raise it.
Do you understand? So that's how to enforce it.
What if it's the manager that is causing the problem now? Because like sometimes you're telling the manager, oh, this is something I've noticed, this is something I feel like can make the workplace better or whatever, and they never do anything about it. They never report back to like the CEO or even make any move to making sure that thing is corrected. And you think, why waste time? The CEO's office is there. Let me knock on the CEO's and let me just bypass that so that the thing can get done. Because sometimes you want some things to get done because it's affecting your own work, and your manager is not doing anything about it. So you go over your manager and tell the CEO about that situation.
Well, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Regardless of whether the manager treats it as urgent or not, they have their reasons, and this is one of the things that a lot of people don't know. I've worked in places where you're trying to. I've worked with clients where you're trying to relate an issue, you have an issue, but you see these guys that are like managers, HRs, all these guys, they understand certain things that you, the worker, or the person, might not understand. Maybe they understand that one, maybe management cannot afford what you are talking about, so they try to stall on telling them because they feel like you don't understand. I know that there's no money. Do you understand? I know what you're asking for might not be answered, might not get answered. So they try to stall on that. So I still believe that it should be followed. The structure should be followed strictly. If the person consistently still breaks that flow, that structure, then I have to fire the person because you see, it's just a matter of time. If you undermine a manager, it's just a matter of time before you undermine the owner of the business. It's just a matter of time before you know. And these are people that will see and they'll see another offer and then they don't even give, like, they don't care about anything and they just leave. These are people that, you know, they can just. So it's right that you follow the structure of your business. Build a structure for the business. Follow it to the detail. When you have people that are trying to break that structure, revert them back to it.
I like what you have said, and I think that at the core of it is organizational structure for this particular workplace thing, because a lot of the time business owners are the reason certain things are done certain way. You know? Sometimes you have empowered somebody so much that you tell them this is wrong, this needs to be fixed. They don't answer you because they feel like, well, I don't want to get it fixed yet, but then you have to go to the boss. See, I've been telling this person to get this thing fixed, and then the boss now has to tell the person to fix it, even though you're supposed to go to them and tell them, oh please, this is bad, it needs to be fixed. So at the core of it is the leadership crisis of where a lot of leaders are not equipped with the skills and also just obeying that organizational structure. Let's talk about skills and performance. And if you agree or disagree with some of our takes on this conversation, you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message, preferably WhatsApp messages 081 11 831983.
Let's talk about somebody. I think we talked about a staff member who doesn't have skill but is very willing to learn. I think last week you said, you know, that's somebody that you can teach. But what about somebody that they have great skills, but feedback, no. Once you try to correct them and say, okay, maybe you could have done it this way or that way, they don't like to listen to correction. And every time you correct them, it will feel as if you are, you know, maybe you're setting your eyes on them like in a negative way, and they take it personally. They take it like as negative feedback instead of like as positive. Like they do great work, they have great skills, but sometimes maybe they make mistakes and you're trying to correct them. They don't take the feedback. They don't take it lightly.
Yo, fire that person. Fire!
No chance for you.
I'm careful to say fire. Personally.
Oh, fire.
I'm careful to say fire.
See, let me tell you. So there's when you have somebody who is not willing to take corrections, that's already a blocker that you cannot do anything about. No
There's
matter
no way you can correct somebody that doesn't take correction.
How do you correct someone who is not willing to take the correction? Person is still hell bent on their own ideology. See, when you work in certain places, any place you work, sometimes you have to unlearn, relearn. So when you have somebody who is not willing to unlearn, you can't. There's little to what you can do. It's already a blocker that you cannot resolve because the person is not willing to unlearn what they think they know. I've worked with certain clients that they have their way of doing it. I cannot, because I have seen results in what I do, and now say no, this is not how
I want to do it.
I can advise them. This is what I think we should do. But if the company says no, we have done this for the past 10 years, and this strategy or this method has worked for us, keep at it. I have to do that. I have to keep at it. It's that simple.
Well, so when they say they have great skills and they refuse feedback, I think I'm thinking of it in a lot of ways. There's the side of where Islamia is coming from. You know, they don't take criticism. But there's also when, you know, something needs to be done a certain type of way, and maybe every general body on the team might not agree, and you might want to challenge that to see what result it would give you. And if it backfires, it would come off as you're not taking feedback. But if it works, it will come off as being innovative. So that's why I was like, I'm careful to say fire immediately, because I would want to understand most times why, you know, they are struggling to take that feedback. Is it that they feel like, is it different thing to cut corners? Because the next question here says somebody who performs well but doesn't follow company processes.
Fire straight. Fire. Because again, it's the same thing that we're trying to talk about. I can't have you. Company process is important. It's important. It's the same thing we're talking. It's the same problem we have in this country. In government, it's the same thing.
Yeah, people
Do you
don't follow
understand?
the process.
You cannot tell me that you did it. Maybe you should have got to the answer.
As
You
long
don't
as
know.
you shall get
As
there.
long as
You
no.
know to the
Do
answer.
you understand? You know, win election. You just answer. They just don't announce me.
What's here, Divo?
Do you understand that kind of thing? We can't keep encouraging that in the workplace. You cannot tell me that, oh, you got it, you got the right thing, but you didn't follow how it's supposed to be done. The process is as important as the result. In fact, it's more important to me than the result you get. Sometimes there are people that they follow the right process, they don't get the result,
Okay.
but we still applaud them because you did the right thing.
So you train instead of fire.
I'll train that person. I'll train that person on you follow the process, but maybe you missed out on this and that, and then you can easily just point them to the right thing and they get the result. Compared to somebody who is doing the wrong thing, but because they're getting the result, you want to hail them and say, oh, keep up, keep it. Until that wrong process backfires on the company.
Oof.
Yes, until it backfires on the company and it becomes a huge loss.
What about the employee that is always complaining, but they are not like they always find a thing to complain about every day? So it's different when you are the one saying that, oh, maybe don't do this thing that way, but it's different when the employee is always like, this one, every time. Like there's always something to complain about, and it's not like they do anything about it. Maybe the network is a little bit bad and you need to get some things done. You're sending some files, so instead of maybe looking for alternatives, they might say, oh, I didn't send it because there's always no network every day. There's always no. There's always no network. I can relate very well but there's always no network. But I'm just saying, like, or maybe they're just always complaining about everything all the time. And sometimes there are things that you can have alternatives to that they could quickly like just do instead of that one thing, maybe as a backup plan. But they will never like look for that backup plan. They will just always complain all the time, like all the time.
Well, if you complain and it's too much.
How much is too much?
How much?
Because that again.
That.
Yeah.
I think it was
yes.
I feel like I complain a lot.
I don't think so though.
No, I don't think so.
Because there's something about bringing something to somebody's notice.
It depends.
And then there's complaining.
Which is why sometimes you ask me something, I'm just like, you know what?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, I think I'm becoming the guy who is always pointing out this.
No, but pointing out and complaining is like
there are two different things.
Okay.
When you point out what should be done, it's different from when you're complaining about what is not done.
Or sometimes when you're supposed to do something and they ask you why you've not done it, then you come up with, like, you're always coming up with like a reason why you have not done that thing. They're complaining about something. It's different to point out again. Because there are some things that don't work and it's very glaring that you can't do work without it. But there's other things that, if it's not working, there's an alternative that you can find. That is not, it doesn't even have to hurt you. Like you could find it in the company. But instead of doing it, you'll not be like, maybe you were supposed to submit something. Oh, the elevator was not working. But then you have staircase. I know there's situations like that.
In the 12th floor. Why you not take office in the ground?
Sometimes I don't live in Nigeria. I know so there's to carry lights. Sometimes these things don't just.
But if somebody complains too much, for me, I think if it's too much, I'll fire. Like, and I know you have that question of how much is too much. But again, if it starts to get to the point where I'm always. What I'm always concerned about is not to have a virus in the business. Not to have a person who is like a carrier.
Oh yeah.
You know what a carrier is? Someone that is spreading bad vibe, bad energy.
Yeah.
So because again, it's just a matter of time before something becomes a culture where you see that you just don't understand it, but you see that every of your staff starts complaining all of a sudden. They just have that. Do you understand? So it's almost like there's complaining everywhere. And it's, you see, if somebody gives an excuse or says something and they see that it worked, next person is trying it next time to use that same strategy. So for me, because again I don't want people to have a space where everybody's complaining about this, about that. There's a right channel of laying your complaints. I think that every business should also have that. Have a forum where these complaints can be laid like structurally, like maybe every month we have a meeting where we talk, like town hall meetings, right? I used to work with a company outside Nigeria in the UK where we had like town hall meetings, and these town hall meetings were like everybody in the business, we talk, we have fellowship, and then we now also talk about the things that we feel like can be done better, what is not being done properly, and that's the right forum for that complaint. Instead of it just flying around, have a forum where they can complain in front of you, and then you can answer them. You can let them know, okay, this is we're going to work on them. We're working on these things, because again, sometimes they might not just know that it's some of these things they are complaining about is already in the pipeline.
Yeah.
It just takes a proper forum for that to happen, and then so that's what I think.
Okay, so what about somebody that they need constant supervision to finish the work that they do the work very well, but you always have to remind them,
Like spoon
like,
feed
oh, you have
them.
not done this thing. You're supposed to,
Constant
somebody has to be there
Yeah.
for them to finish that task, but they will do it well eventually when you supervise them, but on their own,
Yeah.
They won't achieve it.
For me, I think I'll train. I'll train here,
Okay.
and that's because
Fire you, man.
no,
I training
yeah,
you.
you
I'll
cannot
train.
forbid anybody.
No.
I'll train.
I'll
See,
fulfill
you
it.
know why? It depends on the industry. For
Okay.
example, in my industry, no matter how good you are as a digital marketer, if you work with us in our agency, I still need to hold you by the hand for like the first 2 months, 3 months. I have guys like that. In fact, everybody that I've employed has always been like that. Right? Even when I employed somebody who is like a very big, good. I mean, he's got experience.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
I still had to hold his hand a bit
So this is how we do it
because
here.
at some point we have clients that are not that sometimes they might not be satisfied with the result. I had to come in. I had to step in there. I had to say, okay, let's try this strategy. Let's try something else. And what we try to do is also to do timely training. We still do training.
Internal
We still we still do internal trainings where we're still taking them through the new what is obtainable now. Because again, you work in a very volatile industry like ours. Every time Meta can change something next month. Every month they are making updates. They are changing different things. So you cannot just you can't just. So sometimes at some point you still have to hold hands. You still have to. So I think it depends on the industry. And for me, it now depends on after I hold the person's hand, let's say for a month. If the person is still, I still have to hold the person's hand. I will drop the hand. I will drop the hand.
Okay, all right. You
go
can join the
with what
conversation as much as you can. 081 11 831983. An employee who is always on their phone during work hours.
Oh, but stay active now.
Stay active. Somebody said so. Just a tweet that went viral on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it, where the boss was like, "Stop being on your phone during work hours," and then the boss sent a document to the staff during work hours on their phone. I was like, "Sir,
well,
instruction is instruction. There's no leaving out. I should not be on my phone during work hours." So you sent a document to my phone instead of the email.
Nice.
What if my phone is when I used to work?
So again, this one is not something. I just think these ones are like office rules. It's not really something that you want to fire somebody for because they're always on their phone. I think it's just something that you need to have guidelines against.
Okay.
I mean, there are places where you work where you have to drop your phones before you go in.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen places like that where you don't take your phones in. It depends. For example, if you work in the central bank, do you think they don't allow phones in? Right? You can,
Yeah.
Have you heard? Yes.
Make it so you make videos while you show people where they're
I'll be showing
taking
people where
money.
they. Do you understand? So there are certain places where you cannot take your phones in. There are certain offices where so it depends on the office. It depends on what is obtainable there. So, but for me, I think I'll just. I mean, it's just to set the right rules there.
Set the right
You don't
rules.
fire people for that kind of thing.
Okay, so somebody that is always submitting their work late, reports late, they will submit it though, but it's just always late.
What if
You always have
what if
to-
they submit on the deadline? Is that late too? Would you regard that as late? Submit
Well,
on Friday and then
the-
they
I always
submit on
say
Friday before
by
the close of
11:59. It was 12. 11:59.
You say submit by 12 and then they submit like
Yeah.
12:01.
Yeah, maybe like 12 or 12:02. Is that late? That's not so late now.
I
Is it?
think those are things that you just have to. They're just strict rules that you put to it, and
Okay.
just try to enforce those rules.
Okay.
You can't fire people for those kind of things. I don't think so.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need a bit of getting used to, and then they are fine. So you probably would train for that kind of thing.
Okay. We would mix the work habits with modern workplace issues. This one I know that you're pro this one, but let me hear your take on it. An employee who uses AI tools without telling the company.
Well, I'm going to train. I'm not going to fire because again, AI is the world. I mean, it's the new gold right now. People are. In fact, I'm currently doing a lot of things with AI. So if I have somebody, I mean, first for you to have the thought of using AI to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
I applaud you for that. But again, the only thing I'll just say is, of course, you should have let us know
There
because
you are.
again, it depends. If it's something we're doing for a client, and then you've done it with AI. The client says, "Oh, this is all AI." But if you have pre-informed me, I'd have probably given you some guidance on, okay, let's do it this way so that it's not evident that, oh, this is AI. There are clients that cringes when you, and I don't know why people do it, but there are certain people that once you do anything AI for them, they're like, they're like, no, I don't like this. It's not.
Like when they say people should leave all those graphics.
But the annoying thing is that,
but the annoying
thing is that it's what is happening now. It is
Mhm.
what
It's
it
the
is.
future.
People are building things now that they don't even spend hours again, and they are using AI to get monetized and make money. They are here still arguing whether AI is original or not.
Okay, so this one. What about somebody that works, like they are quietly working a second job while they are like during your office hours? Maybe like they're doing something remote.
Don't complete it. Fire. Yeah, straight off.
Work a second job during office
Straight
hours.
off. I'll fire you straight off.
Using office Wi-Fi to do something else.
The moment I find out, I'll fire you straight off.
Ooh.
You can't have that. You see, that's bad. That's witchcraft.
Ooh.
You can't be doing that.
What about during their break?
I'm paying you. You are not using my resources.
Yeah.
Using the time where you're supposed to be working for me to do another.
personal work.
No. I'll fire
Even
you.
if I do the job like really well.
Yeah, even if you do the job really well.
Okay.
Would you employ a worker who constantly switches job every year?
Like every year.
If you check their CV,
No, I'm not.
you're not employed.
Don't even, there are certain things I say no for me. Why are they switching? If you can't stay in one place, it's obvious. There's something that is doing you.
What if the industry?
What if the place
for
is
example,
the bad
our
place
industry
now?
is
It's
quite.
not, all the places you've been are now bad.
It might not be bad.
Is it not possible that all the places
you
you've
pay? Because I'm at the point
Even
where
if in
I
terms
have a
of
price
pay,
now.
there's something wrong with there's something wrong with that person. That person is greedy.
Not necessarily.
Is it that everywhere? Is it everywhere
Not
that you have?
necessarily.
Is it everywhere that you have worked that they're not paying you well? Is it everywhere you've worked?
I can guarantee you that there's a lot of possibility that my answer will be yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a
If a radio presenter,
that
your
means
answer
that
is
means
yes.
there's a contentment issue. Then you can. There are
A
other
contentment issue.
Yes.
But okay, maybe one way I can look at it.
Yes,
At
yeah.
least you negotiated your salary before.
I'm
Yeah, but
telling
when you
you.
go into the job, you see
Yeah, maybe-
opportunities, you
yeah.
apply, and then it comes through. You take it.
But don't forget, you say the person keeps changing. So everywhere you keep
year.
getting to, you keep getting higher offers. That one too is not enough. You get, it's a contentment
now.
issue.
Ah.
Let's face the fact, it's a contentment issue.
Contentment?
And I believe that right now in this country, there's hardly anybody that is working somewhere that does not have side hustle. So go and get side hustle. Stop jumping from one job to the other.
Come on.
I don't agree on this one. This is my take. Especially in the tech industry, there's a lot of people jumping jobs every year.
Yeah.
In the tech space, and there's also poaching in the tech space.
Yeah.
There you can start join the company now. 12 months into or 18 months into joining that organization,
it's not
they
that quick.
put you out.
It's not that quick.
It's not that quick.
It's not that. I mean, in tech space, so it's not. Yes, I've seen it does happen, but it's like 2 years,
2 years.
So 2 years is okay.
2 years is okay.
2 years, 3 years. It's
2
fine.
years,
2 years.
3 years.
So if you are
In
changing job
certain
every 2
industries,
years,
in certain careers,
Yeah.
like tech, like you mentioned, it helps your CV when you have all those experiences. I
when
mean,
it comes with a raise.
yeah, it
those
does.
jumps
No, it
comes
said 2
with
years,
raise.
3 years, not bad, but a
2
year.
years, 3 years, but you see,
What do you mean,
every
like a
year you're
few
changing
months,
jobs.
every year,
If-
20
Every
20,
18 months.
20,
Every 18 months.
That's bad.
Every
2020
18
to
months.
2026,
It's bad.
you have worked in 7 places already.
It's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
In fact, if I see your CV and I see that in the last 5 years you've worked in like more than 5 places, I'd say it's a no for me.
But I have a personal policy of the least amount of time I'll do in a space, if I'm okay with it, is 18 months. Or maybe 2 years. I think 2 years is, before I used to have like a 3-year policy, like if I get somewhere, I have to stay there for 3 years because I'm trying to like grow my work relevance and look like someone that stays. But I think at the end of last year or about a year ago, I changed that policy to 18 months. I'm going to work somewhere for 18 months. After 18 months, I start applying.
I'm not sure that's great because again,
At the level that I am now, I can
may-
make that decision because I'm already 10 years in the game.
maybe for you, but I think personally, one of the things we need to always look out for again is that when you work in a business, one of the things you try to do is you try to get into like you try to affect the business. You try to affect the business. That's the word. And for you to affect a business, for
You
them
have
to
to
feel
be
your
there
impact,
longer.
you have to be there for a while.
But there are businesses, sir.
And those businesses also need to those
Have that
businesses
structure
also
for
need
it.
exactly they
Yeah.
also need to encourage
Yeah.
that also.
We're in an
Yeah.
industry where, so for example, in tech, I think sometimes in tech you grow up the ranks. You can be
Yes.
junior today, you can be mid
Yeah,
tomorrow,
yeah,
you can
yeah,
be
yeah.
senior
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
For an industry like the radio, for example, if you're not careful, you might never have an opportunity to be a head of programs, head of station, based on company policies.
Yeah, that's why I said that. That's why I said the companies or the businesses need to encourage that. They need to encourage that. You need to have, like, you know, for somebody to be part of the business. Because again, I have people who started work with us as social media managers.
You see?
And then they turn out to be something else in the company. So the businesses need to open up that opportunity as well.
There's a message here. It says, "Good morning, Blast Rise. I have a policy of changing jobs after 18 months. If I don't see a chance for career growth."
That's what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing. I said if the business is not giving you, like, it's not, they're not.
But on my CV, it will be looking like I am just changing jobs.
But like it can't be like now every year now.
It can't be
like every
imagine
year.
working in a place and you've seen you put in the work. Is there different? Let's in an ideal situation where a staff joins someone joins an organization, they put in the amount of work that is required and even do more. 12 months down the line, after a year, there is no conversation about the review of the salary.
Yeah.
They work another 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And they change jobs. And that's pretty much how the media industry is. And so it's almost impossible to say, unless you now find yourself in organizations where, you know, they are taking proactive. Maybe at the end of the year, they are doing profit sharing, they are doing bonuses, they are doing KPI
exactly.
reviews.
That's what I'm saying, that if for every business, you need to have these measures in place where you're giving bonuses, you're reviewing people's positions. You know, if you do this every time, like maybe every year, there's no way you don't have people staying with
Does
you.
it also not speak to a business if the workers are always, like, if you notice that you're applying for a job and everybody's always leaving that job? Every few months, everybody's always leaving. The business is always changing their employees. They're firing people every few months. People are leaving. People are resigning every few months as well. Does it not also speak volume about that business?
It does. It does. Bring you into a business where
check Glassdoor.
Exactly. Check very well. Find out from the people who have been working there previously, and get to know all these things before you come in.
Absolutely. One of the things I think we're going to do next week is we're going to flip the script to the employee. Do you stay or do you resign? That's what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonny from Akwete, thank you for sharing your message with us. Says, at interviews, I asked the interviewer what their policy for career growth is, and they tell me there is. But along the line, they don't. I put in the work, and when there's an opening for growth and I'm qualified, they outsource. I would leave, even if it's 6 months.
That's true. Actually, that person is right. That person is right. Again, if businesses need to do better in terms of when we bring people in, and that's one of the things that I also try to do in my business. When we bring people in, we make a lot of promises when they are coming in at the we tell them, oh, this will give you bonuses, we give you this, oh, you are entitled to this, and then after a while in the business, they're like, where are all the things you promised? Nothing. So I think business owners need to do better in that regard.
So you need to be louder.
Yeah, business owners. No. Of course, I'm going to always say that because again, business owners need to keep to their word. When you're employing people, when you're bringing people in, keep to what you promised them at the start. Yeah. And I mean, again, if the business is, I always say it, and I think it's something like that Ife also said one time, that if the business is making a lot of money, there's nothing wrong with paying people bonuses. Pay bonuses very well. Yeah. If you made a lot of money, pay bonuses. Let your staffs know that, hey, we made a lot of money in this business, so that's why we are paying you this. I think it's just normal to do.
We want to say thank you for always doing this with us every Monday. Remember, for all of your digital concerns for your business, you're trying to scale your business on a digital platform, you're trying to grow your business, you don't know where to start in terms of having a digital presence for your business, at BizLift is your one-stop shop for all. So just go to Instagram at BIZLIFT with the verified blue tick in front of it, and you can send them a DM. Somebody would respond, and you can start your journey to putting your business on the spotlight. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much for having me.